down here at Rick's Repair. He called me up and said there was something cool going on today. Something to do with forging knives. I know nothing about it, so we're here to check it out.
And I gave these guys the option. I said, hey, for a Christmas party, do you guys want to go out to eat to a restaurant like everybody else does? Or do you want to use our shop and utilize all the tools we have and make knives? And everybody's like, knife, 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 knife. So that's where we're here today, making knives.
Got this guy right here that I know, Ronnie. He knows his stuff. Let's see what's going on.
How's it going? We're gonna start with 1095 high carbon steel. But you gotta put it in the forge right here and get it red hot. You watch your camera, that thing puts out a lot of heat and melt it.
Yeah, there's a good chance I can melt my camera, so we're in the danger zone, just what I like.
After your steel gets red hot, you gotta use your anvil, beat it to whatever shape you want, and you're satisfied pretty much with what it is. Come back around here. You find your saw of choice that you want to use. You want to use a die grinder or a band saw or heck, even a skill saw. As long as you can get the shape out and get her cut up, you do pretty good. But now, after you get your shape and everything's the way you want it, you put it back in the forge so they get red hot again, and you go out there and you stick in that tub of oil. Like I was saying before, make sure everything is red hot. I hope it don't fall on me. Look out. That's called a quench, also known as a anneal. Quench your blade when you dip it in the oil. Essentially, it cools it down, just not rapidly.
Okay.
And if it cools it down too fast, your blade can shatter.
That's what I was about to ask you. What happens?
Yeah, I made that mistake in cold oil, and I shattered my whole blade. So I learned out later on the hard way. All right, and after you get your blade cut out and everything, you got a full tang or even a hidden tang. If you got a hidden tang, you know yourself, you don't have to cut your piece of wood in half. It's going to be inside the wood. You'll never see it. Myself, I like a full tang. So I'll cut the wood. I'll put a 2-part epoxy in there, put the pegs in there, and I'll squeeze it together, let it harden up. After you do that, though, you got to actually grind it down and sand the handle down because, nobody wants to hold a wooden block.
Right.
With a blade. So, like I said before earlier on, you got to fit it to your hand. No matter what size you are, you big, small, little, don't matter. As long as it fits your hand, it's right for you. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
I love that advice. Because that's the key. You're the one holding it.
That's
it needs
right.
to fit your hand.
It's coming out of your head on the steel, not somebody else's. You're not making it for them, you're making it for you. Like I said, the railroad spike is a perfect beginner. It's not real cheap steel, but it's not high carbon steel. And it will rust, so you got to get a chrome polish and polish the blades so that they don't rust up real bad. You get a pretty good finish on it too.
Okay. So how would you suggest someone to get started? They probably have to go find someone who knows what they're doing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It sounds like something you need almost a professional type, or at least someone that's done it many times prior.
Yeah. I picked mine up watching Forged in Fire as they first started. That's what got me really into it. And then now it's just, I love doing it. I can't get enough of it.
Super.
I'll show you a couple of finished products.
Okay.
You got a nice beginner's knife, railroad spike, Not a really good blade for, real hard chopping. It's pretty good to hold the edge, but like I said, it's a beginner's knife. Then you got something just quite a bit harder. High carbon, 1095 steel, all hand forged. Took me a long time. Then you got, the old file knife. Antler handle, buffalo nickel on both sides. Don't worry, they came off the saddlebags. This one right here, I beat out of a leaf spring for a truck.
Really? That's very interesting. A leaf spring from a truck. Wow.
My daughter drew the design and I cut it out. I etched it in there and beat out the steel. Got a nice blade.
That's an amazing blade.
You can make a couple filleting knives if you want to. Not too bad. That had more or less a prototype, but it worked out pretty good. Now this one, that's my baby. That's my buckskin knife. Got a polymer handle.
So how do you go about picking handles?
Honestly, it's whatever feels right in your hand.
Okay.
By the shape. You can't just say, okay, well, I'm going with this shape and then put it in there and get it done. It's never really going to turn out to be right. Got to work on it, put it back in your hand, see how it feels, keep moving it around until you get it done.
Okay. So what would be your advice for someone that's into knives but has never attempted anything like this before ever, but they want to?
Well, to be honest with you, be careful and be mindful of it. Stay tilted.